Hi, I'm Naan and welcome to Tipsy Time. Hi guys and welcome back to another episode of Tipsy Time. Today we're going to make some curry, and the curry is from Goa in India. So we're going to be making some goat vindaloo and some garlic naan. Vindaloo is traditionally made with pork, but today we're going to make it with some goat, and my wife's going to be cracking on with some garlic naan as well. So let's get started. We're going to start with our vindaloo paste. It's the traditional way of making it. We've got a whole bunch of chilies and a bunch of whole spices, all sponsored by Pride of Durban. To start, we're going to get a frying pan on, get the stove on. We're going to get all the fragrances of these spices out. So start with 4 cloves, 2 cinnamon sticks, 3 cardamoms, some black pepper which I've ground, some cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of each, black pepper and cumin, 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds. When you are making this at home, you will smell it. You will know when you get all those wonderful fragrances, then that's the time to actually get it off the heat. Okay, we're getting all those wonderful smells now. That means it's ready. So we're gonna get that into a coffee grinder, and we're gonna grind this up, and then we'll move on to our next step. Okay, so this is our ground spice mix. Okay, so next we'll get 8 to 12 dried red chilies. If you can get Kashmir chilies, that'll be great, but any dried chili will do, depending on the type of heat you want. Roasting of the dried chilies also releases the chili oils, and it brings out the flavor and the heat. Okay, now that our chilies are ready, I can smell them. We're gonna pop that into a blender. Then we're going to get in our ground spice mix that we made earlier. Then we're going to get in about 2 tablespoons of vinegar. You can choose whichever vinegar you like. And then 1.5 teaspoons of tamarind concentrate. So we're going to get the sourness and the heat. Just pop the lid on and blend. Okay, so our paste is all done. I'm just gonna scoop it out into a bowl. Smells amazing, smells very spicy. Vindaloo is quite a spicy curry. Okay, so let's start with our curry. Firstly, I'll get some oil in. And next we get some onions in. We've got 1 chopped onion. Okay, we're gonna try and cook these down so they're a bit translucent. Okay, our onions seem just about ready. I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, 3 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. You can add this paste, ginger garlic paste, to your actual spice mix. I just like to fry off my ginger and garlic first. So this is our goat. I've cut and washed it. I've also added about a tablespoon of yogurt just to tenderize it, but that's purely optional. You don't have to do that. Okay, we're going to get that in now. Just going to get this coated up nicely into the onions and the ginger and garlic paste. Just give it a quick browning, just for about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, the next step, I've got 1.5 tomatoes which I've pureed. We'll get that in. We can now get in our paste as well at the same time. Let's give that a good mix now. You add a teaspoon of sugar, white or brown, some salt. Now we'll cover it up and let it simmer for about, on a medium heat, for about an hour, say an hour, 15 minutes, depending on what type of meat you're using. And we'll keep checking on it every 15 minutes. You can add water as needed.
Okay, so while the Vindaloo is going, I have been coerced into being on Tipsy Times, but it is a very simple a recipe for garlic naan. So I'm going to start with 2 cups of self-raising flour, which I'm going to sieve. Then I've got a cup and a half of plain yogurt, which I'm just going to add into this, and then I'm going to knead it into a dough. Okay, so now that it's all come together in a dough, I'm going to now move it over to my working space. Okay, so I'm going to cut it up. Okay, it depends how big you want your naans. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit extra self-raising flour. Okay, and then I'm going to just roll this out. So you just want to even out the thickness throughout. Okay, and then we're basically ready for the pan. Okay, so on a dry pan, we're going to put our naan on. This is on a medium heat. So we'll see little bubbles sort of coming up. So we want that to happen sort of evenly all the way around. Okay, now we're going to just flip it over. So we're going to leave it on the other side for about as long as it was on this side, which is maybe about just under a minute. Okay. That looks good. So we're going to take it off. And then I've got here some melted butter, and I've added some garlic to it. You'll notice that we never put in any salt into the actual dough. So I'm using salted butter here to add some salt. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this brush and paint it on there, other side. Okay, and we are done.
Okay, it's been an hour, so we'll have a look. Should be done now. Wow, and it is. So I'm gonna finish this off. Just garnish it with some coriander. It smells incredible.
Okay, so let's get some of the naan. I think from like roasting those spices at the beginning, you can actually taste that bit of smokiness, and that roasted flavor is really delicious. It really comes through. And I like the fact that the tomato is not sort of overpowering. So it's got that nice tang, and I think there was sugar in there as well. It's like a nice sort of sweet tanginess. It's yeah, it's a really nice depth of flavor. Definitely something you should try, especially when you've had enough of that mutton curry or that lamb curry. This is a really, really great alternative.